it's not Motor Storm, but it's Moto Racer. Alright everybody, welcome to my review of Moto Racer. This is a motorcycle racing game from 1991 for the PlayStation and PC. This has got to be my most favorite racing game out of all time, aside from Mario Kart Double Dash.
Make your choice.
Alright, so right off the bat, you can choose your how many players you have and what difficulty setting you have. So let's just go one player, medium.
Select your mode.
Right off in here we have championship, single race, and practice. Practice I highly recommend for beginners. Single race is just if you want to get right to the action. Championship is if you want to enter in high scores and stuff like that. Let's just do single race for now.
Select your race.
And what differs from MotorStorm is that you can choose the different type of terrain you want to race on, but different maps such as dirt bike maps and regular maps have different type of laps. For example, if I choose this one, it has 4, and if I choose this one, it has 2. But I think you can make the laps go bigger. Or that might be in the PC version, I don't remember. So let's go in here. Now, if you can see the controller, if you set the controller to analog, it's a bit weird. The right stick, as you can see, is your accelerator and brake. The L1 trigger is your gear down. The L2 trigger is your back view. The D-pad does absolutely nothing. The left analog stick does turns. Pause is the same. The R2 is turbo, which makes you do a wheelie and makes you go really, really fast. R1 is to gear up. And O is to change views, and along with axis to change views. When you switch the controllers to digital, the controls are pretty much like any other controls. I prefer analog because it feels more like a throttle more than anything else. It just feels more awesome. Okay, so my favorite has to... Oh, wait. My favorite has to be... this one. Wait. Yeah, this one. I'm not really interested into brakes. I really like the speed on this one.
Select transmission.
And right up here you can choose the transmission, manual or auto. I usually use auto, and
Let's go.
it takes like at least 10 seconds or more to load. Pretty decent loading time. It's not too long, but it's a bit average. Just listening to the motor of the motorcycle is just hypnotizes me, and it makes me go faster and faster. A few people fell over already. This game has no physics engine, but when you crash, you end up sort of like you would in Grand Theft Auto 4. Like, let me show you in a second here. Crap, that didn't work. Yeah, there we go. It works sort of like Grand Theft Auto 4, except it gets annoying at times. So as I said, if you hold down the R2 trigger, it makes you go hella fast. Even though I'm in last, who cares? I'm just in it for the speed. As you can see, there's usually 8 positions, 4 laps or 2. I think the max out of here is like 8. And the sad thing is you have a timer. I really hate the timer. I just want to drive. I mean, just look how fast I'm going. And if you just heard that, there is an announcer guy who usually comes in. He announces the checkpoints, and he usually announces how fast you're going. Plus, if you're in a dirt bike and you hit a hill and go really high up, he usually says "yeehaw" or something like that. as I said earlier, this game is my favorite racing game out of anything else. Need for Speed, it's okay. I like the PC version a bit better. I mean, Need for Speed 3. That's gotta be my favorite out of all the Need for Speed series. So, yeah, this is a pretty decent game. Now here, let me show you the dirt bike racing. Now with the dirt bikes, it's generally the same thing. The bikes are pretty much the same. A few things have been altered, but they're minor changes or highly unnoticeable. The dirt bikes go a bit slower than the regular bikes, but they handle a bit better, almost. And I'll pause it here to let it load. And here we are at the dirt bike tracks, or one of them. As you can see, you can go really high up in the air if you hit a hill. The controls for this game handle very well if you use the digital pad or the analog sticks, either one. If this game had 6 axes, I think it would work even better. Well, maybe not as good as Saints Row 2 with the airplanes and the 6 axis, but pretty close to it. And let me turn down the volume; it's a bit too loud. Now in the background you can hear a soundtrack going on, but it's barely noticeable. But I've listened to most of the tracks. They're pretty decent. I mean, they're cheesy, but they're okay. So yeah, I give this game out of 1 through 10, I give it a 8.5. This game is just too awesome, especially when you're using the PS3 controller. It just feels so good to hold down the trigger and it just makes you go fast. Yeah, I know, I just crashed, who cares. Alright, so this has been another review, and I'll see you guys later.